See what's happening right now. This is the Appalachian Weekly News on AppTV.
An accidental fire in Raven Rocks Hall sparks attention on campus.
While an overlook of the same name experiences vandalism.
And we take a closer look at updates to spring commencement.
And we have an update about the Mountaineers' hard-fought game last night.
All of this and more on this week's edition of the Appalachian Weekly News. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Friday, March 19th. Live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone, this is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Aiyana Willoughby.
And I'm Grace Powers. Raven Rocks Residence Hall was evacuated Thursday after a dryer caught on fire. Andy Stevenson, the chief of App State Police, says residents saw smoke and called the dispatch center at 3:13 p.m.
Stevenson says first responders determined the cause of the incident was a mattress cover that caught fire while in a dryer.
Alex Seaman, a resident of the building, says she was in the laundry room when she noticed the smell of smoke. Seaman says students were evacuated from the building for about an hour and a half.
There are no injuries or property damage. For more information, go to the AppalachianOnline.com. As of March 19th, there are 30 active COVID-19 cases. Since January 1st, there have been more than 18,000 COVID-19 tests performed on campus. 385 positive tests were identified from these tests. Students, faculty, and staff are able to get tested every Wednesday and Saturday from noon to 5 in the Legends parking lot.
The vaccine rollout is well underway here in Boone, and at Appalachian Weekly News, we're here to answer your questions. If you're a student like me, you may be wondering, when am I eligible for the vaccine? Well, App State is following the state's prioritization system. Student workers are in the group eligible for vaccination right now. Other students will be eligible for the vaccine beginning April 7th. Students that live off campus are likely to be in Group 5, which does not have a set date to begin vaccinations. Dorms are considered close group living settings by the CDC, so students living on campus can be vaccinated.
More students are able to receive the COVID-19 vaccine as of March 17th. The vaccine has been introduced in phases, starting with healthcare workers in Group 1. People ages 65 and older were in Group 2. Even though childcare and essential workers were in Group 3, they still have priority and are able to get vaccinated as well. Governor Roy Cooper announced that members of Group 4 are adults ages 16 to 64 with high-risk medical conditions and people living in close group settings. If you are eligible, you will receive an email from the App State Vaccine Clinic to schedule an appointment.
Some members of Group 4 will be able to be eligible to receive their vaccine beginning March the 17th, a week earlier than we anticipated. Group 4 will be open to people with medical conditions that put them at higher risk for severe COVID-19 illness. Also eligible will be people living in some congregate setting that increase their risk of exposure.
Aiyana, have you heard about the graffiti over at Raven Rocks?
I actually did see something about that on App State Classifieds. I believe Connor Davidson has the story.
For many, the Blue Ridge Parkway is a place to unwind and take in the views, but for the land. On March 8th, a post was made on the App State Classifieds Facebook page calling out those responsible for graffiti at Raven Rock Overlook on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Many people were outraged at the sight of this, including App State Junior Chloe Mason.
Nature can't do anything about it, and it's so beautiful, and we go there to escape and not think about all the terribleness in the world.
This was especially frustrating for some because there are places designated for graffiti where it is completely legal, such as the expression tunnels on App State's campus.
Go to the expression tunnels and do it, or go somewhere else and do it, because people want to go to the expression tunnels and see art and connect over art, and we can do that if we just use the designated spaces to do it.
The reality of the situation is that instances of graffiti and other forms of vandalism are not uncommon, and in recent years there have only been more cases. Lisa Brandon is the External Affairs Specialist for the Asheville National Park headquarters. She gives more insight on the matter.
I think there is a sense that they're seeing more of it maybe than they did a few years back.
Those found guilty of committing acts of vandalism can expect to pay hundreds of dollars in fines and resources for cleanup. In some cases, the costs can go into the thousands. The Park Service also suffers since they are the ones who have to go out and clean up any mess.
Staff that are dedicated to working on one thing may get pulled in and their time used to have to address a graffiti issue, which then reduces our overall ability, obviously, then to do the planned work that we wanted to do.
Anyone who sees any illegal activity is encouraged to notify the Park Service by calling 1-800-PARK-WATCH. For those who want to help, there are opportunities to volunteer with the Park Service to go and clean up graffiti under proper supervision. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Connor Davidson.
A lot of people are finding stimulus checks in their mailboxes this week. The relief package will award most Americans with $1,400. This means that weekly $300 unemployment benefits will go on through September 6th. It also provides tax breaks for up to $10,000 in unemployment benefits. Watauga County reached a record high unemployment rate in April of 2020 with 11.2%. As of December 2020, unemployment has gone down to 4.3%. The relief bill will set aside $350 billion to aid with local and state governments, and college students were not left out of the benefits. Higher education institutions will receive close to $40 billion to support students.
The Boone Fair Housing Task Force passed a resolution through the Boone Town Council banning anti-homeless architecture. Anti-homeless architecture is created to keep people from sleeping and loitering in public spaces. Examples of this architecture include slanted benches, spiked windowsills, street dividers, and raised grate covers. The resolution was written by App State alum Dalton George, founder of the Boone Fair Housing Task Force. Currently, there is no anti-harmless architecture in Boone, but the resolution ensures that none will be built in the future.
Students are returning to classrooms in Watauga County. The Board of Education voted to allow students from pre-K to second grade to meet in person for 4 days a week. Students will attend on weekdays except for Wednesdays. Teachers will use this time to make appointments with students who need extra help, while custodians will thoroughly clean the schools. Bus routes will be modified to comply with CD regulations as well. Starting March 22nd, grades 3 through 5 will be able to attend in-person classes. This decision comes after teachers were eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Beautiful spring days are right around the corner, Grace. I'm so excited. I realized allergy season was close when I woke up one morning and my eyes were itching.
I'm right there with you, Aiyana. And we definitely saw some spring showers this week to kick off the new season.
We did. The first official day of spring is March 20th, tomorrow. Temperatures will be rising and so should rain levels. This also means that allergies will be acting up. Daylight savings was last Sunday, so we do lose an hour of sleep, but I think that extra sunlight at the end of the day kind of makes it worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our weather correspondent, Quadajah Rivers, will have more information about spring a little later.
It looks like the class of 2021 will have in-person graduation ceremonies. The university says there will be a virtual component to these ceremonies this semester as well. All of these plans depend on COVID-19 trends. If there are any concerns about the safety of graduates for the in-person ceremonies, the plan will be modified. Both spring and fall 2020 in-person ceremonies were canceled last year due to the pandemic. To find out more updates, visit appstate.edu/commencement.
2 residence halls whose names reflect racist histories have officially been renamed. The residence halls formerly known as Hoey and Lovell are now Dogwood and Elkstone. The residence halls were previously named after Clyde Hoey and Edward Lovell, white men who supported the Confederacy and favored segregation. Multiple student petitions have circulated in the past few years asking for a renaming. In June, Chancellor Sherry Everts announced that the buildings would be renamed, and this week they received their brand new name plaques.
Grace, I was today years old when I figured out what a hellbender is. Do you know what that is?
I didn't know what it was until our correspondent Hadassah Rivera told us why we should care.
Okay.
Native to the southern Appalachian region, nearly 80% of eastern hellbender populations have been lost due to industrial pollution, warming waters, and habitat destruction. On March 4th, multiple conservation groups filed a notice of intent to sue the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. This came after the government agency denied Endangered Species Act protection to eastern hellbenders in April of 2019.
According to a published proposed rule document by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the stressors on these particular amphibians were not of sufficient imminence, intensity, or magnitude to indicate that the subspecies was in danger of extinction. Executive Director of Waterkeepers Chesapeake, Betsy Nicholas, talked about some of the factors that led these various conservation groups to file the notice.
So our other partner, Waterkeeper Alliance and Center for Biological Diversity, had been looking at this decision that was made by the Trump administration's Fish and Wildlife Service and felt that it didn't consider the relevant science that was put before the agency. And we discussed it internally and felt like it would be good to challenge this decision and see if we could get some protection for these species.
The eastern hellbender's habitat consists of shallow, fast-flowing rocky streams with outstanding water quality. However, these conditions are only replicated in waterways with high levels of dissolved oxygen and a healthy riparian buffer. Sedimentation such as sand, silt, and clay is the largest threat to a hellbender's home. I spoke to Associate Professor of Biology Michael Gangloff, who mentioned awareness is key when it comes to these animals.
I think it's important that, landowners are aware of their presence in the streams and, are doing a good job to protect stream bank riparian zones, making sure that we leave vegetation along the edges of our streams is really important.
Biologists with the North Carolina Wildlife Resource Commission are asking community members to report sightings of hellbenders. You can also call the Commission's Wildlife Interaction Helpline at 866-318-2401. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Hadassah Rivera.
Student Government Association freshman senators Ben Negan and Connor Raines are writing a bill that would benefit LGBTQ students here at App. The bill would allow students to change their legal name and use their preferred name in all personal information in the university, like on app cards, class rosters, and at graduation ceremonies. The bill was created with transgender students in mind who may not be able to legally change their name.
I'm always thinking of ways to help mental health on campus, and I was thinking about, marginalized communities being discriminated against, and I was just thinking about the consequences of that and the pain of having to look at a name that you don't hold anymore, and just how terrible that could be, and that was where I decided to kind of come out this idea.
Faculty members have created a group that will work to ensure a more inclusive environment on campus. Racially and ethnically underrepresented students make up around 18% of the student population. The White Accountability Group will be facilitated by Julie Keys and Jeff Cathy. Faculty and staff will talk about the ways that they can assist people of color and learn more about relevant issues. People of color are welcome to join the group and contribute ideas. Meetings will be held via Zoom over the next few weeks until April 20th.
The Climate Action Planning Writing Group is in the process of finalizing their plan to make App State completely carbon neutral. The plan is called AppCap 1.0, a vision for climate neutrality, and it provides detailed strategies for reducing greenhouse gas emissions from transportation, heating, and electricity, the university's largest sources of carbon emissions. The plan states that every member of App State's campus has a responsibility for carbon neutrality and acknowledges that the plan relies on collaboration. The plan does not offer a set date for when climate neutrality would be achieved and has still not been finalized.
Grace, I cannot wait to ride on the parkway again with my windows down. I can't wait.
Me too, Aiyana, and I just made a perfect playlist for a parkway drive.
Nice. Quadajah, please tell us we can wear short sleeves soon.
Well, you guessed it, Aiyana. Warmer weather is just around the corner, but today's weather is another story. In fact, You'll need to bring a raincoat. Temperatures will reach a high 48 degrees with 40% chance of rain. You'll expect evening showers with temperatures as low as 24 degrees with partially cloudy skies. You know what they say about the month of March, in like a lamb and out like a lion, out like a lamb. Temperatures in the high countries are steaming up this Saturday. Boone reaches a high 48 degrees with clear skies and very low winds. Neighboring towns Blowing Rock, Seven Devils, and Beach Mountains will also see warmer temperatures in the upper 40s. The sun is playing hide and seek this Saturday with mostly sunshine and partially cloudy skies. Sunday in the high country will heat up to the low 50s with temperatures as high as 53 degrees with clear skies. Monday and Tuesday, you'll see similar temperatures. Temperatures reach the upper 50s next Wednesday, and you will expect occasional rain showers Thursday and Friday with temperatures reaching its peak at 63 degrees. So I assume wearing short sleeves is perfectly fine, but you could see some occasional rain showers. So bringing an umbrella may be ideal for the following week. Aiyana, Grace, the Parkway sounds like a great idea, but you might need to roll up your windows for now.
Thank you, Quadajah. I guess I can wait a little while longer.
Well, a program director at Watauga County Schools received the Distinguished Service Award for his work with exceptional children. Affectionately known by his students as Dr. Marcella Santa Claus, Mike Marcella oversees the Exceptional Children program at several K-8 schools and one high school here in Watauga County. Marcella's whole career has been dedicated to special education, whether it's working with advocacy groups to impose policies or being in the classroom. Congratulations, Mike.
Watauga County Parks and Rec will host a drive-through bunny trail parade on Sunday, March 28th. The event will take place at the Watauga Community Recreation Center and will start at 2 and end at 4. Visitors will be able to look at floats and spring decorations while also staying safe in their cars. If you have any questions, visit rec.watgov.org or call 828-264-9511.
The Hunger and Health Coalition desperately needs breakfast items, specifically cereal and oatmeal. After their main distributor, a company called Malta Milk, went out of business, they've struggled to supply enough breakfast items. The Hunger and Health Coalition asks that if you're unable to donate, please help spread the word. The group shared in a post on Facebook that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet only 44% of individuals actually have it.
Online, go to simplegesture.org and sign up with us, and we actually deliver a green bag to you. It's free, it's beautiful, don't get it confused with Publix. And then every 2 months you'll fill up that bag with items that we especially need, like breakfast items, and then a volunteer driver will actually come to your doorstep and grab your green bag, bring it here, sort it, and put it right on our shelves, and we'll give it out to the people who need it most. And it's a super easy, fun way to stay connected with us here at the Hunger and Health Coalition.
You can drop off donations at the Hunger and Health Coalition at 141 Health Center Drive.
Yesterday's loss was so tough, Grace. It was so tough.
Let's check on Garett to see if he's okay.
Yeah, Garett.
Well, ladies, I'm still recovering from that loss last night as App State men's basketball fell to Norfolk State in the first four, 53-52. The game went down to the wire and the Mountaineers had a chance to win as time expired. But the mid-range jumper from Justin Forrest was short and the season sadly came to an end. The Mountaineers have nothing to hang their heads about as they finished the season as Sun Belt Tournament champions and appeared in their first NCAA tournament game in 21 years.
I've said this from the beginning in August to our team. We got a choice we can make with all this stuff. I said, you guys are going to go through this year stuff that no one's ever gone through, and I said we can either embrace it or waste it.
The women's basketball team had a great run in the Sun Belt Tournament. The Mountaineers defeated UL Monroe and UT Arlington in the first and second rounds, but suffered a heartbreaking 3-point loss in the semifinals to top seed Troy. The Black and Gold finished the season with a record of 15-12. It will not play in a postseason tournament. App State baseball is back in action today as they start conference play against Arkansas State at 5 tonight. After starting the season hot, the Mountaineers are on a bad losing skid, dropping 6 out of their last 7 games. Limited fan attendance is permitted for App State students after the weekend series against the Red Wolves. Students will be receiving emails about lottery tickets within the next couple of weeks for a series of home games in April. App State softball is also looking to get back into the win column this weekend. The Mountaineers lost a 3-game series against South Alabama last weekend and split a doubleheader with East Tennessee State last Tuesday. The Mountaineers will be taking on the Texas State Bobcats in a doubleheader starting at 1 in the afternoon tomorrow. That's all for sports this week. Aiyana, Grace, let's hope we can recover after that loss.
Thanks, Garett. And now it's time for your High Country High Note. Grace, I still haven't scheduled my vaccine appointment. I really need to get on it.
Well, if you fill out the vaccine interest form, they'll let you know when it's your turn.
Okay.
I think our correspondent, Zenaira Marine Lopez, has more details.
I'm Zenaira Marine Lopez here outside Holmes Convocation Center, where App State is hosting its first COVID-19 vaccine clinic. After scheduling an appointment, those in phases 1 through 3 are eligible to receive the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Earlier this month, the university was approved as a vaccine distribution site after App Healthcare received 3,000 doses. 2,000 went to us here in Watauga County, 700 were sent to Ashe, and 300 doses went to Allegheny County.
This new vaccine is considered a game changer because it does not require extra cold storage like the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, and consists of only 1 shot instead of 2. Doses are administered at 10 different stations inside Convocation. Nursing students are a part of the medical staff administering vaccines. This includes student health services and nursing faculty.
After people receive their shot, they must wait 15 minutes in an observation zone before leaving. I spoke to Carly Scott, who just received the vaccine.
I'm here with Carly Scott, an App State student who just got vaccinated. Carly, what made you eligible today to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I'm a student employee on campus.
Where do you work?
I work at the SRC as a lifeguard.
Oh, that's nice. So how was it getting vaccinated today in your experience?
I thought it was really easy, and they made me feel really comfortable.
One familiar face was also able to get her vaccine on the same day.
I am tremendously relieved and grateful to the enormous number of people who have worked so hard to make this happen. We have a fabulous team at App State, and they've been working for this date for over a year. So I'm really just grateful and completely relieved.
If you aren't eligible just yet, Group 4 can get their vaccine starting on March 14th. This will include App State students living in residence halls and individuals with underlying health conditions. Check back in here for more details, and for the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Zenaira Marine Lopez.
That's our report this week. I'm Grace Powers.
And I'm Aiyana Willoughby. From all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching.
And happy spring. We'll see you next time.